The Executive Audit Compass presents an Internal Audit Deep Dive, Understanding the Internal Audit Profession. What does an internal auditor actually do all day? Not the job description, the real week, the meetings, the testing, the difficult conversations, and the quiet moments of professional courage. Welcome to the first deep dive episode of the Executive Audit Compass. Every day on this channel, one standard in 60 seconds. Once a week, we go deeper. Today, the profession itself, what internal auditors do, where the function sits in the organization, how to choose between assurance and advisory work, and how to build a career in this field. This episode is drawn from Module 1 of the Internal Audit Professional Series, the foundation level. The full module, with its worksheets and templates, is linked below. Let's begin. Internal audit work has a rhythm. A typical week opens with planning, team meetings, document review, stakeholder coordination, and work paper preparation. Tuesday and Wednesday carry the fieldwork, control testing, process walkthroughs, interviews, and evidence gathering. Thursday shifts to analysis, reconciling data, developing findings, and discussing issues with management while they are still warm. Friday closes the loop. Report drafting, follow-up on prior findings, and planning the week ahead. One habit from the module worth adopting immediately: block calendar time for each activity type. Fieldwork will consume every available hour if you let it. The work produces 5 core deliverables: audit reports, the flagship product, executive summary, rated findings, root cause analysis, and management action plans, typically 15 to 30 pages. Risk assessments, which form the foundation of annual audit planning. Management letters to senior leadership and the audit committee. Advisory memos, recommendations without formal opinions. And follow-up reports, tracking whether management actually implemented what it agreed to, with escalation when high-risk items sit unaddressed. All of it moves through one continuous cycle: planning, fieldwork, reporting, follow-up. Each phase runs from 2 to 8 weeks depending on scope and complexity, and high-performing audit functions keep several engagements moving at different stages simultaneously. Where does internal audit sit in the organization? The 3 lines model, updated by the IIA in 2020, answers precisely. At the top, the governing body and audit committee, accountable to stakeholders for oversight. The first line, operations. Business leaders and staff who own and manage risk day to day. The second line, oversight functions. Risk management, compliance, quality, legal, providing expertise and monitoring. And the third line, internal audit. The only function providing independent assurance across everything, including the other 2 lines. External auditors and regulators complement the picture from outside. Why does the position matter? Because independence is structural, not attitudinal. You cannot provide independent assurance on work you own or decisions you made. The model also demands coordination, share audit plans with risk and compliance, align on emerging risks, and formalize the touch points. Coordination is what prevents audit fatigue on one side and coverage gaps on the other. Internal audit provides 2 fundamentally different services, and confusing them is one of the fastest ways to damage independence. Assurance, an independent opinion on the effectiveness of governance, risk management, and controls. Audit sets the scope based on risk. The output is a formal report with a rating to the audit committee. And the independence bar is strict. You cannot audit your own work for at least a year. Advisory, guidance and recommendations without a formal opinion. Scope is agreed jointly with management. Reporting is informal. The critical line: audit must never assume management responsibility, advise on the control design, but never make the management decision. The distinction becomes real in daily requests. 3 examples from the module. Management asks, review our new procurement system before go live. That is advisory, recommendations, no opinion, and it is documented that a future assurance audit may be needed after implementation. A whistleblower complaint about fraud arrives. That is assurance. The investigation establishes facts, renders an independent conclusion, and reports to the audit committee. And the third, sit on our system selection committee with a vote. That one is declined. Voting on selection is management responsibility. Accepting it would compromise every future audit of that system. The professional answer offers an alternative. Attend as an observer. Provide control considerations. Keep the vote with management. The protective habit behind all three. Classify every engagement before accepting it and document the reasoning. What does it take to do this well? The IIA's competency framework draws the map. Professional ethics and accountability at the foundation. Command of the global internal audit standards. Deep understanding of governance, risk, and control. Business acumen. Technology and data analytics. And the management of the audit function itself, wrapped in communication, critical thinking, and the ability to persuade. Certifications mark the path. The CIA, Certified Internal Auditor, comes first. The gold standard, 3 exam parts, typically 12 to 18 months. From there, direction decides. CRMA for Risk Management Assurance, CISA for Information Systems Auditing, CFE for Fraud Examination. A practical note from the module. Many employers fund certifications. Ask before self-funding. The career arc runs from staff auditor through senior manager and director to chief audit executive, each stage with its own skills and success indicators. The thread that runs through all of them: independence, continuous learning, and stakeholder trust. The hardest question the profession faces: what is internal audit worth? The module's answer is one word: quantify. Risks identified before they materialized, controls improved, and losses recovered. Processes streamlined, hours saved. Compliance verified. Governance strengthened. Translate recommendations into money, hours, and closed gaps, and present the metrics to the audit committee on a regular rhythm. Plan completion, savings identified, implementation rates, conformance with the standards. Abstract value convinces no one. Measured value funds audit functions. That is the profession in one episode. The real weekly work and its 5 deliverables. The third-line position, and why it protects the truth, the discipline of separating assurance from advisory, the competency and certification path, and the value case that keeps audit functions funded. The full Module 1, including the 3 lines mapping worksheet, the competency self-assessment, and the 90-day action plan, is part of the foundation level of the Internal Audit Professional Series. The link is in the description. Next deep dive, Module 2. Navigating the global internal audit standards themselves, and the daily series continues tomorrow morning with the next standard. Thanks for watching.